you.
Hey, Rob, how's it going?
Everything's great, thank you.
So, Rob Halford, you've kept
Yeah.
yourself busy with your new companies, I see.
Yeah, very busy.
Releasing CDs, and you got two new ones coming out, Crucible and
Yeah.
live in Anaheim. What
That's
you think of it? Going back to the archives to find the master tapes.
Yeah, it's all valuable, I mean, I think from my point of view, everything that I try and make should be able to be of some value to the metal community. From the moment it's made onwards, because you don't really have much of a control over that. You can just go where your heart leads you to a certain extent when you're actually making metal. But I think all of us that make metal for our fans would like to believe that if we made a song in, I don't know, 1970, that it might be around in 2010. Like I say, you don't really have any control over that, but I think we all believe that what we make is going to have some longevity attached to it, and so that's how I feel about these two new pieces from the Metal God record label, which also comes into the picture really, because we're still a young label, and I'm like the guinea pig really, to a certain extent, just to make sure that everything's working to provide this kind of physical product for the metalheads around the world. And I think we've made some really good stuff so far. So these are probably the last two pieces left in the archives, or the vaults as they're called, and they turned out really good. The live DVD in Anaheim and the audio that goes with it, plus the bringing forward Crucible again, remastered and so on. It's all good. A feast, it's a metal feast. It's out there for everybody to pick and choose from.
Now, for your live, the CD quality is extraordinary. You guys film every show at that time to get the best of it?
It was one show in Anaheim. We just had the one performance. So pretty much what you see from that performance is how it went down onto film. Roy Z, our producer for the band and guitar player for the band, he deserves all the credit. He worked really hard getting the sound to the quality that we needed, and took him a lot of hours to make it work. And so all praise goes to Roy. But if I think back, and I've been close to the process of the project, it is pretty much straightforward, straight from the desk, as we performed it that night in Anaheim. Of course, we'd been touring quite consistently anyway, so it was one of many shows. So the band was in real good form when we walked out on stage at Anaheim all those years ago.
And the sound came out just right on the soundboard.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, thank you.
And you guys take a lot of time into remastering these two products?
Well, again, that's left to the experts. I mean, I've kind of dipped my toe in producing and engineering and mixing and so on and so forth. To be quite honest, I don't really enjoy that experience that much. I'm more excited consistently by the creative process of making something from nothing. Like when I write my music, once it's written and the basic tracks are recorded, I just pass it on to somebody that I trust, like Roy, and let him complete what needs to be completed. So everything runs past me as we're coming into the final moments of completion. But at the end of the day, it has to. In this instance, with the live in Anaheim DVD, it has to look good and sound good, and everybody gives it a thumbs up, or we go back in the editing room or back into the mixing room until we get it right.
In this case, it came out just perfect.
Thank you very much.
Very good product, I think. And another thing, you got like four websites that you're promoting now, or 5.
Yeah, we've got the main hub, which is robhalford.com, and that's just had a revamp. I don't know whether you've had a chance to check that out yet, Jason. But Attila, who's the main guy at the office in charge of all the internet side of it, he did a magnificent job of putting a brand new look and experience into robhalford.com. It really looks spectacular now. He did so much effort and energy, and it looks fantastic. So that's the main hub. But as you point out as well, from that point there, Jason, you can jump over to the Metal God shop,
.com, yeah.
and check that out, the record label, Metal God Records. So robhalford.com really is it's like the spoke, the hub rather of all of these different places you can leap from. But the internet is extremely important, more than ever now, for getting your music across and anything else that you want to say with your work.
And another thing too I noticed, which is great, is on one of your stores that you got online, you're offering autographs and stuff that people can actually buy now.
Yeah, and again, it's just a case of looking at all of the different opportunities that a web-based business can give you, and I'm not the only person that's doing that. You can just you can pretty much look through it and figure out what's good for you or what you want to pass over on, and just enjoy the overall experience of the music, or talk to your friends that are into metal all over the world in the chat rooms, on the forum sites. It's a great exchange, really. It's called robhalford.com, but it really is just part of the whole metal movement around the planet.
Well, I think it's a brilliant website which you got running. It looks really fresh, and
Thank you.
You say, it's really good. It's really good, and it's obviously #1 on the Google search, which is good.
Yeah, and that's really a big thank you to the fans. I mean, you maintain your position on Google by the amount of clicks that you get.
Yeah.
And so I thank the fans for that. The fans keep clicking, and they keep me at the top of that page, and that's a really cool thing, and I'm grateful for that position.
Another great thing is coming up with you is you're coming to Montreal, Canada.
Yes,
July 24th.
I'm so excited about that. It's going to be a brilliant affair. This is the second one, isn't it, Jason? Is this the second Montreal Metal Fest?
I do believe so. A Metal Fest,
yeah.
Heavy Metal Fest, if you want to call it.
Right.
Yeah.
And I've seen the list of performers, and it's going to be absolutely incredible. I know most of the people that are going to be performing the same day as myself, so I hope I get the opportunity to run around the dressing rooms and say hi to all of my friends.
Because you're going to have Megadeth, Dare Slayer, Alice Cooper, Korn, Rob Zombie,
yeah.
and of course
I know,
Rob Halford.
I know all of them, yeah. We're all friends with each other. We've known each other for a long time.
That's great. And then in August, you're doing Ozfest. Yeah,
that was a nice surprise. Again, talking like we do with our friends in rock and roll, in metal. I've known Ozzy for a very, very long time, and he was gracious enough to offer me the chance to go out on the Ozfest this year and do the shows around America. So that'll be a real treat for the Halford band, because since my return to the band that leads me in my life, Judas Priest, everybody in the Halford band has been away doing their own endeavours successfully. But we just felt this was an opportunity, with Priest on hiatus, just to run out and have some fun and make some metal and see our fans again and thank them for the support and just have a good time with each other.
Another thing too, when you're on your off time and stuff, do you sometimes write songs and that?
Yes, I do. Yes, and I can't really stop myself from that, because I don't see dead people. I just hear music in my head. And when I hear music in my head, sometimes it's overpowering, and I have to kind of put it down on a little machine, and I store it away. I don't really don't really play an instrument that well. Most of my ideas are just very simple, straightforward, melodic types of spontaneous creative bursts that just happen. Sometimes you'll go days and days, and sometimes weeks and weeks without anything, and then out of the blue, it'll just start, pouring into your mind, and you have to kind of get it down somewhere quickly so you don't forget it.
But when you get a good idea, you surely have it.
Yes, thanks to my iPhone.
Oh, and you record everything with your iPhone.
I can just press the apps on my iPhone and put down exactly what I need in a heartbeat.
Now, let's say in 20 years from now, how you think a recording studio is going to look like if you're recording already with iPhones?
That'd be interesting, won't it? I mean, I'm staring at my Mac PowerBook, and I can do everything on this thing in front of me. So I don't really know how much smaller we'll get in technology, but it certainly made recording a much more easy experience and a lot more of an accessible experience, especially for the great new musicians that are consistently coming forward. Mm-hmm. It's just wonderful to think that people can make music now of a really good quality at home. On these relatively inexpensive laptops, you can just do it all in there, and that's got to be a tremendous asset to all of the new talent that's roaring ahead in metal and other kinds of music.
Yeah, it is a quite interesting thing when you look at it from recording like a little computer now with your 24 tracks in it.
I know. I mean, I come back, go back to the days of the 3-inch reel-to-reel tapes when you had to kind of like put 3 or 4 of them together to do multi-tracking because you could only get 12 lines of recording on one tape, and if you wanted any more, you had to join these machines together and call them slaves. You'd slave the reel-to-reels together and do as many of those as you needed. So sometimes when you'd press the record button, you'd have like 3 or 4 machines running in SMPTE time card with each other, and it was just a nightmare. If anything went out of sync, or if you wanted to do an edit, you had to get the razor blade out and slice through a song, just to remove a couple of seconds, or to change a verse and chorus piece or whatever it might be. Those are really daring days, Having said that, the creative process is still the same. A song starts with a few notes and goes from there.
Another thing too, throughout all the years, the sound quality on stage, like from your monitors and that, that changed a lot also.
It has, absolutely. There's been tremendous advances. I mean, the old days of working on and getting feedback all the time, those days have practically gone. If your monitor engineer knows what he's doing and your out-of-front sound guy knows what he's doing or girl knows what they're doing, then it should be a relatively trouble-free sound quality experience. As we've moved along, I think metal probably has a lot to do with that, because metal by definition has to be played loud. So I think that as we were making our music louder, a lot of these people that made the soundboards and the onstage monitors were challenged. These guys want to play loud. How can we stop the feedback and all the other technical difficulties? So it's been a slow progression. But now, I mean, the concerts that you go to are sometimes of CD quality because of the technological advances. So that's a really, really great place to be in as a performer. Because when I'm on stage singing, and you really have no control. I mean, you just have to let go of the fact that you just trust the person that's mixing the sound out front and giving the fans and everyone out in the audience the optimum audio experience. And
now when you go on tour, you do have your own sound engineer that follows you?
Not the same one, no. Not particularly with the Halford band, because this is the first time we've been out in a long time. You just look for people that have got good credentials, basically. If you have a person that's been working consistently for a number of years in their particular profession, whether it's a sound monitor, engineer, or a drum tech or whatever, if they've been doing it for a long time, they've been doing it for a long time because what they do is good, and they haven't been fired, you know, or whatever. They're the best people. So you basically surround yourself with the best people that you can find to do the job that's needed.
And they should do a good job like that. That's a good way to look at it, Rob.
It is, yeah. It's a relief as well. You don't have to worry about it.
Unreleased archives. Do you have any stuff that is still yet to be seen? Like, let's say, all the songs you write?
Well, there's always material floating around. I'll be perfectly honest with you. There's a tremendous amount of material that the Halford Band has yet to release. Some of it's finished, some of it's halfway finished, some of it's in fragments. But there are many, many, many songs that have been made over the years by the Halford Band, and you know, if they're at the standard that they need to be, they'll probably see the light of day at some point. I mean, if you write a song 5 years ago, there's no reason not to release it 5 years later. If it's a good song, it doesn't really matter. You know, I've just finished reading Under the Dome by Stephen King, and the idea, he started writing that book, and was it 96 or 76 or something? He wrote about 100 pages and then put it away. But now he's just finished it, you know, 2009 when it was completed. Took him 2 years to do it. As long as the idea is good. See, that's the great thing about creativity. It's not associated to time. It doesn't really matter if it was made 5 minutes ago or 5 years ago. If it's good, it's good, one way or the other.
That's a good way to look at it, and I was sure you'd have a lot of, you know, back catalogue that is yet to see the day of light.
Yeah, lots of stuff. Yeah, it's exciting because sometimes I forget what we've done, and it's nice just to go in occasionally to the office and pull out the archives and, you know, fire it up and see what it sounds like, and you go, oh, I forgot about that. Oh, that's a great riff, blah, blah, blah. And you have fun doing what you want to do with it.
And to go with videos and stuff also that's been filmed, you know, going through Judas Priest careers, there are a lot of stuff yet to be seen on video.
There probably is, yeah. Again, I mean, the band has been pretty much filmed all the time, one way or another. And we do have the offices in London with the storage, and so I think with any, for the most part, with any band, you're more focused on what you're doing now. You have to kind of say, okay, in this calendar year, we're going to take a month off and go to the past and see what's there and see if there's anything that's useful. And so it is, I think, with a lot of bands that have been lucky enough to have a long career. I think we've all left a trail, you know, and sometimes you have to go back and you have to walk backwards a bit to find out what you've got. Anything can happen with Priest.
I mean, for the completists, there's people that, you know, just go crazy on that stuff. You know, they need the collection.
Oh, I know, yeah. It's wonderful, isn't it? I mean, you see things in the paper all the time of certain tracks that have suddenly emerged from your favourite band, and it's exciting for everybody.
Let me put this one in here. Nostradamus, remember that guy that listened to the album for I don't know how long?
Yeah. I met him, yeah, really cool guy, yeah.
What's the story on that? Did he listen to it like constant? Does he still listen to the album today?
I don't know. Here's the last thing I heard about that was that it was taking up almost 2 hours of his life every day.
Right.
I think he thought, I think I really need to do something else. I mean, he was and always will be a really hardcore Priest fan. He wasn't crazy. He was a really nice guy. He just loves the record to death. And I'm sure he still listens to it. But that's the fabulous thing about the fans of Judas Priest. They're so dedicated and supportive and love the music so strongly.
When he talked to you, is there any other albums of Judas Priest you listen to a lot, or is it just he took the Nostradamus album?
Yeah, I think it was just that one.
Okay.
I only saw him for a few minutes before I went on stage. I don't know whether he does that with any of the other material, but anyway, that's his claim to fame, and I think it's a pretty good one.
I think it's a good one too. I've heard about it and seen him, and I said, "This is an incredible story."
Yeah, it's incredible.
And no, that's total dedication, Rob.
It is absolutely 100%.
And you gotta appreciate that. It's awesome to see.
Yes, you do. You do. You can't kind of ignore it. I mean, it's the passion. It's about as strong as it gets from the fan base of a band or an ice hockey team or anything else that each of us become enamored with in our lives. It just shows you how powerful these things can be. That we're lucky enough to kind of share and enjoy with each other.
And the metal god met with the guy. That's awesome.
Yeah, that's it. Yep. Took some pictures, and I think he was a happy man.
Oh, I think he is a happy man for the rest of his life.
I hope so.
Every album you release, you have a number added to it. Is this a trend that's going to continue?
I don't know. It just seems to be a comfortable way of looking at things before the final title gets attached.
Okay.
This Halford 4 idea we've got is Halford 4 at the moment. I don't know whether it'll take on another title at some point, but it's just a little focus point rather than the album that's on its way or whatever. It's number 4, and it'll be here at some point.
Well, looking forward to it. Rob, thank you very much
for
taking this time.
I'll see you in Montreal, my friend.
Yes, and you have a great tour this summer, okay?
Thank you very much. Yeah.
Look forward to you in the future.
All right, mate. Cheers. All the best. Bye now.
Bye-bye.